In January the 22nd, I guess the Lord had me in the right place, the right time, with the right commitment. I was president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And then we had agreed that, and I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed, after they signed their names to a petition, that we were going to march as a teacher group. And so on January 22nd, we met at Clark Elementary School here, which was the school where I attended the first grade through the sixth grade. We met upstairs, and we marched up a file. My partner was my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade science teacher. His name was Mr. A.J. Durgan. He was the incoming president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And we led that march, teachers, for the first time in the United States, coming down the steps of Clark Elementary School, down Lawn Street, down to Alabama Avenue, down to the courthouse. Teachers, for the first time. Getting down to the county courthouse, that was standing next to the steps, the superintendent of education, the chairman of the board of education, to persuade me, because I was a teacher, to take the teachers back to the school, because we had made a point, and that no longer should we try to pursue that right from that particular point. And I told them we had a right to be at the county courthouse. It was our courthouse. We were not backing down from our right to be there. And I asked the superintendent and the chairman of the board, who signed my check, to step aside. We went up those steps. Jim Clark had his deputies across the door, and he indicated that we were trying to make a mockery out of his courthouse. And we indicated to him that that was our courthouse also. He gave us 1 minute to move off of those steps. At the expiration of that minute, he took the billy club and jabbed us down the steps on the sidewalk. And my partner, Mr. A.J. Durgan, who, as I said, was my teacher, he was not quite used to that stuff like I was. And he asked me on the ground, he said, "What shall we do?" I said, "We are going back." He said, Yeah. And so we went back the second time. We jabbed down the steps after a minute, and he asked me the same question. I gave him the same answer, and he gave me the same response. The third time, when I really was trying to get all the teachers arrested, because teachers were not aware of the tremendous influence. They were the largest black professional group here in Dallas County. And so after going back the third time, he said, "If you don't get off these steps, Jim Clark," said, "we're going to arrest you." I said to myself, exactly what I want you to do. And so at about 45 seconds before that minute expired, someone on the inside of the courthouse came and pulled him on the inside of the courthouse door and said, I didn't go in there with him, but I can imagine what they told him. For goodness sake, don't arrest those teachers.
What's going on? What's happening, everybody? We are back. The Lineage Podcast is back. We missed y'all last week. We was on a much needed vacation with the whole family. But it's great to be back and here live in effect. We are the Lineage Podcast. I gotta let everybody know who we are. Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese grandsons. That's the man that was the chief orchestrator of the Selma voting rights movement. I'm gonna just be honest that the upgrades begin and end with him. We don't have to go down the list. We can go down why. We can go through who. We can show you evidence. We can show you receipts, papers. We can bring on 100 people that have the same opinion as we do. But in a nutshell, we can bring on people that don't have the same opinion as we do. But the difference is we got evidence and receipts.
And we'll talk about a little bit since we're talking about voting and stuff today.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit. We talk about voting day today. We pretty much gonna talk about everything. If y'all have anything y'all want us to talk about or discuss, feel free to come through in the chats. Let us know what y'all would like to discuss. But we're gonna touch on a few subjects today that is geared to pretty much what we have dedicated our lives to, certain things, especially putting our grandfather's name where it belongs. It belongs on a national level with everyone else. Um, so that's what we're gonna do today. Today we just gonna let's talk about it, man. We're gonna talk about everything. But before we go any further, y'all know we got what we do every week. Well, let me say this: if you don't have the book "Self Self Sacrifice," please go get it. And let me say this before we go any further: we have uh, in 2 weeks we got a special guest coming up, the one who co-wrote the book with Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese. She won't be here next week if I'm not mistaken. She'll be here the week after next.
I think it's 27.
Yeah, it's the
Captain
27th.
Walters.
Miss Catherine Walters. So if you got the book, you see her name at the bottom, so you know what time it is. So you don't want to miss that show.
That's right. You don't want to miss it.
Don't want to miss that one. And next week we got Miss Gina Duvernay.
That's right.
You don't want to miss that one either.
That's right.
You don't want to miss.
Guaranteed.
You don't want to miss that one. So we got two special women and black women the next 2 weeks. Not only we got the special guests, two special black women coming the next 2 weeks, we do have our first nurse, Miss Kimberly Reese, another special black woman. She's here. She's going to give us some more information, bring awareness to a I'll say a illness that affects our black women by and large, women in period, but our black women are by and large too. So we're gonna take a little break for 30 seconds, and we'll be back with the first nurse, Miss Kimberly Reese. Be right back. We back. Y'all know I ain't gonna play with it. We back. We got first nurse, Miss Kimberly Reese here. How you doing, Kim?
Hey, how you doing, MJ?
Doing good, doing good. I already put the topic of the segment for you today.
Okay.
We're talking about breast cancer awareness. It is breast cancer awareness month.
Yes, yes.
So it's only right that we do it like this. So I'm gonna shut my mouth and I'm gonna let you go ahead and go.
All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Thankful Thursday. October is known as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. People wear pink ribbons to have honor survivors and remember those that lost their lives to the disease and to support the progress that we're making to fight breast cancer. So today I'm going to talk about and discuss the details of breast cancer. Okay. So what is breast cancer? Breast cancer originates in the breast tissue and it starts to occur when breast cells change and grow out of control, creating a mass or tumor that's located in the breast. The tissue that grows surrounding the breast, it could travel to other parts of the body. So as you see on this picture, that's the breast cancer. You see the tumor, and it's located right in the breast tissue. Who does it mainly affect? Breast cancer is one of the most common cancer among women. It's most likely to affect women over the age of 50. It's the second leading cause of breast cancer death in women after lung cancer. It is also the leading cause of cancer among women ages 35 to 54. Um, Black women overall, they have a slightly lower rate of breast cancer compared to white women. However, black women tend to be diagnosed with breast cancer at a younger age than white women. As of 2019, breast cancer became the leading cause of death for black women. So Black women, we have to get out there and do our mammograms and check our breast, okay? Um, Although rare, men also can develop breast cancer. Approximately 2,600 men develop breast cancer every year in the United States, making up 1% of all cases. The risk factor of breast cancer that is smoking, alcohol use, obesity, radiation exposure, and hormone replacement therapy. There, the breast cancer occurs in two broad categories: it's invasive versus non-invasive types. Invasive breast cancer is defined as the cancer spreading from the original site to other areas, like nearby breast tissue and to other parts of the body. Non-invasive is when the cancer remains in a particular location of the breast without spreading to surrounding tissue. There are many types of breast cancers. As you see, these are the different types. You have the ductal breast cancer, the meniscus breast cancer, and the lobular breast cancer. I also have a list of breast cancer as well. You have the invasive ductal carcinoma, invasive lobular carcinoma, and the Paget's disease of the breast. And as you see, it's like over 8 or 10 different types of breast cancer or more. And you see the list right here. We also have the breast cancer has different stages. You have stage 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Um, Stage 0, the breast disease is non-invasive. This means it hasn't broken out of the breast ducts. And as you see, that's a 100% survival chance of surviving. Then you have the stage 1. Stage 1, that's the cancer cells. That's when the cancer cells have not spread it. That's when the cancer cells have spread it to nearby breast tissue. Then you have stage 2. That's the cancer and the breast tissue is less than 2 inches across. Cancer may also spread to the lymph nodes. So as you see, stage 1, that's the 98% survival rate. Stage 2, that's the 88% survival rate. And then you have stage 3. The cancer has spread it beyond the point of origin. It may have invaded nearby tissue, lymph nodes, but hasn't spread to the distant organs. Then it drops down to 52 survival rate. Then you have stage 4. The cancer has spread to areas away from your breast, such as your bones, liver, lungs, or brain. Stage 4 is also called metastatic breast cancer. So that's when it drops all the way down to the 16% survival rate. And as you see, the pink represents the cancer and where it may have spread it. As you see, stage 4, you see the pink is in the head. That's indicated it may have turned into brain cancer. Then you see the liver, the pink organ, and then you see the pinkness around it spread it throughout the breast tissue. Um, so detecting your breast cancer is very important. So I have early detection is the vital and the most thing you can do is BSE. That stands for breast self exam. Uh, because breast cancer can be in men and women. You see the pink is the breast self exam for her, and then in the blue, the breast self exam for him. So it's important to do this at least for once a month. You can start at the age of 20 or even before. I have known some young women, they have actually been diagnosed with breast cancer in their teen years. So you have to go according to your history and according to your family. If your mom has been diagnosed with breast cancer early in age, you can do self breast examination even earlier than the age 20. It's important to do it at least once a month, mainly after your cycle, your menstrual cycle has started. I would say the week after it's gone, because that's when the breast is less swollen and less tender. So you won't confuse hormonal lumps for with cycles than an actual lump. Um, you can do it in the shower. You can actually stand in the mirror. You could compare your breasts. If one breast is has a lump and one doesn't, that's an indication you may want to check out. Also, lying down. When you lay down, like in the bed or like a flat board area, it distributes the tissue better to where you can feel and search around for the lump. Let me see. Also, with being in the shower, you want to put one arm behind your back, and then you want to, with the pad of three, uh, your three middle fingers with the tip of your fingers, use light, medium to deep pressure, and then you can go from you start from the clavicle area, and then you can move down, and then go. You can go in the circular motion, then, or you can go in the wedge motion, or you can go. You could, MJ, you go to the next slide. I think right here you see the wedge motion, or in the middle is the circular motion, or you can go up and down on how you can examine your breast. Um, examine the area from your armpit all the way down to the middle of your chest, because breast cancer can be under your armpit. Most people think it's in the center of your breast, but it can also be under your armpit, like where you put your deodorant on. That is breast cancer as well. If you find any changes, anything unusual, call your healthcare professional right away. Annual mammograms are recommended and should start no later than the age of 40. In some cases of family history, early age breast cancer, mammograms can be given earlier. This is based on your doctor's decision. The American Cancer Society recommends having a baseline mammogram at the age of 35 and screening mammogram every year after the age of 40. So right here is a picture of a mammogram. Most women say it's a little painful, but it's much needed. That's when they put your breast tissue on like a flat surface, and then they will actually, it has to be pressed down. That's how they examine your breast tissue. So as you see on the picture, that's the picture of a mammogram. How breast cancer is treated. If you do have breast cancer, they have different treatment options. It includes surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, hormone hormone therapy, and immunotherapy. And that's all I have for you today with breast cancer awareness. Thank you.
All right. We appreciate that. First nurse Kimberly Reese. She always bring the information for us that we need to take heed to. And like she said, ladies and men, please do this exam, because early detection is saving a bunch of lives, man. So we got to be real with that. So we will be back in, let's say, a minute. Me and my brother, we're gonna come back and talk. We appreciate first nurse Kimberly Reese giving us the knowledge.
My pleasure.
All right, we'll
All
see
right.
y'all.
Y'all take care.
All right.
And I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed that we were going to march.
Nice.
We'll stand strong. Where we belong. It's not about yourself.
First of all, serving notice on our nation. It's Dr. Frederick Douglass Reese.
We march. We march. We march. Like to march.
He said, what shall we do? I said, we are going back. He said, Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? We are back. Lineage Podcast is back. Like I said today, well, first of all, we appreciate first nurse Kimberly Reese, man, for giving us the information. To get early detection, man, save lives. I know a couple of women, personally, that they got detected early, and it actually saved, and they are still here with us. So
That's right.
we appreciate first nurse Kimberly Reese. giving us that information, man. Y'all take heed to it, men and women. I really didn't know it affected men like that. You know, I learned something every week.
I knew a few. It's been years. I was watching TV one day. I mean, we was in high school, man. And
Okay.
I heard of a man that had breast cancer, and I thought that was weird.
Right.
But
Yeah, you don't hear that often.
you don't.
Right. So today, man, we're gonna talk about a few things. As y'all see right here now, we got the vote. I want to play this video right quick before we get into our discussion with this. So bear with me 1 second. Let's get it in. No, y'all can see this. Y'all see this? Can you see it, bro?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So that means everybody else can see it. Let's play this.
Get out. I'm to the place right now. If you vote Democrat, I don't even want you around this church. You get out. You get out, you demon. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. I don't care how mad that makes you. You get pissed off as you want to. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. They are God-denying demons. CNN can eat my dirty socks. You cannot be a Democrat and a Christian. You cannot. Somebody say amen. The rest of you, get out. Get out. Get out in the name of Jesus.
Flat, dirty, perky, sharks, back, flat, rotten, syllabus.
Now, the end part was comical.
Oh boy.
What? I want to hear your opinion, bro. What? Just tell me what you think about because I know it can go. You can dissect that a few different ways.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Man, that's first of all, it is white supremacy. Now let me say something.
Okay.
So people won't think I'm just saying it because he said that if you vote Democrat, I would say right now the Democrats and the Republicans are not doing their jobs. And what I would say, most black people vote Democrat, and it is a shame. And I mean a shame, putting emphasis on shame, what the Democrats have done and have really taken advantage of the black vote. By saying that, what he just said, he is a white supremacy. He's teaching his congregation. You know, I always, when I listen to my wife is a big TBN supporter.
Okay.
I used to watch TBN a lot.
Right.
But it's this pastor called Hagee on there.
Yeah, Pastor Hagee, I know you're doing.
She don't watch him, but soon as Creflo go off, and I think Joel Osteen, here go Hagee. Now, don't get me wrong, Hagee knows his history, he knows his word, but he weaponized the word.
Okay.
This is what this man is doing, and this is what a lot of Christian white people will not stand against when pastors weaponize the word of God and use the pulpit to separate people of God. You know what I'm saying? How could you say when you know what the Republican Party, if you truly know what the Republican Party has stood for? I'm not gonna get on Democrats right now, but I'm talking about the Republican Party. Where the Republican Party was the leader of, I know they talk about Clinton and them about the mass incarceration with the 3 strikes you're out, but we forget about Nixon and Reagan. We forget about what the Republican Party did to black people by putting the drugs in the community.
Correct.
And creating a false narrative called take a bite out of crime when they were putting the crime in the community. You get what I'm saying? But he's using the word to weaponize, bro, and to say that in the name of Jesus.
Right.
Well, let's go back what he believes who Jesus is. Remember, that goes back to slavery, the Willie Lynch letter. When you get Jesus, who they say Jesus is, and you put him as a white God and says Jesus looked like me, so that means that I'm superior. So that means that I'm white. See, he's preaching that in today's time.
Right.
He sits in the pulpit and say, if you vote Democrat, you are a demon and this all in the church, and feel like those people are not worthy to be in the presence of the Most High God.
Right.
You know, I can go on, Jay. I can really dissect this, man. It's a shame. and yet you hear all the amens. So
Right.
think about
That's what shocked me.
all the amens. So think about what those people are doing when they leave that church and they go home and what they teach their kids. And then don't let those people be leaders in their job force. You get what I'm saying? Be
Right.
supervisors and CEOs and COOs and be people who do hiring and firing. What that do? What type of mindset do you have when you go out in the world, when your pastor has the audacity to get in the pulpit and teach and preach like that, man?
Right.
It's a shame.
It's a shame, and I agree when your first statement, when you said Democrats and Republicans, both of them, neither one of them are doing their
So we
job.
talk about both of it today.
Yeah, because you know what we about now. What the party that's gonna do something specifically for Black people
That's right.
is and I'm gonna just be honest, is who I'm gonna support.
Yeah, and that's true. That's right. You know, even in the word, God asked Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job?"
servant
He
Job.
had a conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with having a conversation that's going to benefit you as a community. I'm not talking about singular. I'm talking about Black people being on code and moving as corporately together. It's no problem having a conversation, because my thing is this: if you want to, I heard Al Sharpton say the other day, and I'm going to slide from the pastor real quick. I'm finna go to another pastor who's a Democrat, preacher, said that if Black men do not vote for Stacey Abrams, they are insecure.
Right.
Like, really?
Come on, bro.
Instead of saying that, why aren't Black men going out for Stacey Abrams? What is the reason why? Let's have a conversation and see if we can implement what Black men feel like they're missing with giving a vote to Stacey Abrams. You would rather say that. See, we can't win. You have a Republican saying that, weaponizing the word, and then you have a Democratic pastor preacher saying that. You get what I'm saying? Instead of being a listener and being a mediator.
Right. Exactly, bro. And it's ridiculous. Like you said, you can't win. I saw that with Reverend Al Sharpton. It's like, when are we gonna get to the point and we don't pretty much side with a party, and we pretty much put our people ahead of everything.
That's right.
That's where we have to go, because you see that they don't care. I know we talking about the vote, but we're gonna go Black Americans. I want to show this picture that you
I shared it on my Instagram, and I said something about it on my Instagram, but I could iterate more on this picture.
Now you see this, and I'll put you on the side there. Let me take away Black Americans right quick. Now you see, this is the Congressional. At the top is Native Americans only. So the Congressional Native American Caucus is a bipartisan coalition of lawmakers that work to advance our nation-to-nation relationships with tribal governments and uphold our federal trust responsibilities to Native Americans through the legislative process. That's the first passage, y'all. Now, if we go down here where it says only Asians, it says purpose: to provide a structure to coordinate the efforts and enhance the ability of the Asian American and Pacific Islander member of Congress to accomplish those goals. Okay, and let's go down to only Hispanics. It says the 38-member Congressional Hispanic Caucus advocates for issues important to Hispanics through the congressional legislative process. Now watch this, y'all.
From the Black folks.
Let's read this last one right here. Since its establishment in 1971, the Congressional Black Caucus has been committed to using the full constitutional power, statutory authority, and financial resources of the federal government to ensure that African Americans and other marginalized communities
and other
states have the opportunity to achieve. Now, it don't take a rocket scientist to see what is happening. As you can see, from Native Americans to Asians to Hispanics, they have specific things that are put in place that either benefit them or are put in place to not have discrimination against them.
That's right.
Specifically them.
The Asian crime bill.
The Asian crime bill. You see all of this.
That George Floyd headed.
Right. But at the end, the Congressional Black Caucus down here, the mouth says African Americans and other marginalized communities.
So other marginalized communities are the Asians, the Hispanics, and the Native Americans.
But
So
as
we
you
can't specifically say for Black people.
right, but
It's-
in every other group,
Mhm.
you see
Yeah.
responsibility to Native Americans. You see of the Asian American and Pacific Islander. You see issues important to Hispanics.
That's right.
But on when it comes to African Americans, us blacks, it says African Americans and other marginalized communities. If I'll say this, if you don't if you don't see it,
Something wrong with, and see, this is my thing, man. This is my thing. Okay. We as Black people got, when these folks come to the churches and we go to these meetings, ask these people, what are you doing for Black people? What is so wrong that our government do not want to hear
right,
something specifically for Black people? What are the other ethnic groups? What is wrong with all the immigrants who are in Congress, who are in the House of Representatives, who are part of the Supreme Court, who's governors and mayors and city council members? What's so wrong with your ears that you do not like to hear in law? This is specifically for Black people. And see, this one thing I've been saying is for the longest, bruh. Black people need to get out of the conversation of immigrants and minorities, because Black people are not immigrants. We are the descendants of imports and goods. We were sold on the we were sold to buy. We're not immigrants. Immigrants are people who came from their country over here to have a better life, and they had to work their way into society. Not us. We gave America 243 years of free labor. So what is wrong now when we say, oh no, we can't say specific for Black people because everybody has to prosper. Well, MJ, last time I checked, everybody ain't been dealt the same hand. We say we got to play chess. Well, guess when we play chess, and guess what? Everybody's playing on the same board, and everybody has to start out with the same hand, and you can see everybody movement. Well, Black people hasn't had that opportunity in America to have a level playing field. Starting out. So we as Black people, I don't care what your mama done said, I don't know what your grandmama done told you how to vote. This generation has to stand up. That generation got us to vote. But this generation need to come up and say, look, we're going to leverage our vote. Either we're going to leverage our vote and vote independent, or we're going to leverage our vote and not voting and showing these folks our vote really matters. Because if we stood out of election, it will hurt America on both sides for a long time.
That's right.
If Black people stood up today and said, we are not going to vote until y'all specifically start passing things for Black people. I'm talking about the federal government. Now, a lot of times, I say a lot of times, I see Black folks get on my nerve because a lot of times Black people, we have the majority on these small cities, and we still want to stand together. One, I must say, Selma, Alabama. It's a shame Black folks in Selma, Alabama won't stand together one time because they Black to see what they got going on. They would allow people to separate them, but I'm not going to get on Selma right now. But I'm talking about on the federal government. We set out on the federal government and sit down for one election. It'll just take one midterm to let them know we ain't playing. I guarantee they'll start writing laws that have a Black crime bill, just like they got an Asian crime bill. Don't get me wrong. We have a civil rights crime bill. Everyone can tap into the civil rights crime bill. But everyone cannot tap into the Asian hate crime bill.
I was gonna mention that.
But do we have all the struggles? All y'all talk about the Edmonds Pettus Bridge. I do so many tours with people coming from around the world in Selma, Alabama to learn about Selma, Alabama. How long have y'all seen Black folks get their behind beat? How many times they gonna replay the same tape and we still don't have a Black crime bill in America, in the United States of America? Boy, tell me. Tell me what I'm missing.
Ridiculous.
What I'm missing, bro.
It's done by design.
And then you got a uneducated white man in using the church, the place in the presence of the Most High God in the pulpit, telling
Right.
folks that you vote Republican, you full of demons. Sir, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Because as a black man, most of the time, even though the Democrats, wolves too, but most of the time the Republicans have shown the most racism
Right.
in my face
Mhm.
than anyone else.
I wonder how many blacks he had in his audience, and I
None.
wonder how many people that voted Democrat in his audience, and did anyone leave?
I heard a
to
lot
be
of
honest.
amen.
Right, I heard a lot of them. He probably knew what he know what crowd he was dealing with. Okay, I said it, man. Blessings multiplied in abundance. We appreciate that. Bring up no voting, no. If I don't know that song, that's not the first time I heard it. Some no voting, no. Dang,
Yeah, I talked about this. That's Zay. We talked about this in the barbershop. Do you
Okay.
know it's some women? Trina, see, this is what I'm saying. This is why it is a shame, and I mean a shame, bro, that you have Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion there as the leaders they show the imagery of the black community. Do you
Right.
know Trina and her girlfriend said that, look, if black men don't vote for someone, stop giving them sex.
You gotta be.
I ain't lying, bro. You got, bro.
Wait a
Jay,
minute.
yeah.
So they saying
It was released by the Democrat. You see what I'm saying? So you got Republicans up in here saying this, and then you got these evil Democrats. Yes, I said it evil. I know people say don't say nothing bad about Democrats. Man, forget it.
whatever.
You got these evil Democrats sitting out here coming up with this insane stuff to get these women who are not wives, who have not shown they are rappers, they are entertainers. That's what they do. You have decided to get the entertainers and rub elbows with them instead of speaking to educated young black people, men and women like us, and understand the whole process. You're ready to go over there and get them and then tell them to make a song to tell other people not to vote, not to if they don't vote Democrat, to don't give them do not give their man any loving at home. What kind of insane mind you got to do that?
Like you puppets, man.
You puppets. And Tristan Wright, the Latino lady, the Democrat Latino lady on the city council in LA, where she said, call a little boy a monkey. Come on, these ain't Republicans, y'all.
Right.
I talked about a Republican pastor, but these Democrats. And guess what? That Latino lady, guess what? She benefit off the movement of black people, but she got the nerve to call the little boy a monkey. Think about it. But guess what we gonna do? We gonna walk right up there, even though she resigned. But if it didn't come out, we was gonna walk right up there and cast our ballot for her. But look at the true matters of her heart.
Right.
Come on, bro. We got to start. One thing, let me tell you, MJ. I know I ain't gave you a lot of time to talk.
Nah, bro, do your thing.
Look, man, one thing I can say about the Republicans, one thing, they believe in winning.
Yeah.
Hey, man, at all cost.
Right.
They be on cold, bro.
Cold, dog.
It don't matter. Donald Trump is one of the craziest men we ever seen, but guess what? They bagged that man till the wheels fell off because guess what? Winning matters.
Yep.
Why don't winning matters to black folks when we make our kids go and play these football games and make them train from the age of 8 all the way to the NFL? We believe in winning. In playing basketball. Look at black people. We excel in sports. We have the greatest basketball players. I don't care if you believe it's LeBron or Mike. We have the best. Look at Tiger Woods. I don't care if he don't think he's fully black. Look at Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, boxing. We believe in winning. Why don't we believe in winning at all costs when it comes to this vote?
Fact. Zay said it's going to continue to happen until black men return to the power in their communities.
That's true.
That's the thing, Zay. You're 100% right. That's why they go to the feelings.
They go get the women.
They go to the feelings.
Yeah.
They don't cater to the emotions. Right. They go to the emotions. They don't cater to the people that care about results. We don't matter. And we
results matter.
We
and that's just real talk, man. The white establishment. Me, you, and our cousin Demetrius, our big brother, we was on the cruise. We were having a discussion about Michael Jordan, and LeBron.
Right.
Statually, when you look at LeBron stacks, look at what LeBron has done in the game. GOAT. But the matters of America, and I Michael Jordan is my GOAT, and you said LeBron your GOAT. But what I want to break down the difference in two and put this as the establishment of America. Okay. America says on paper, only on paper, that they have the mindset of LeBron James. That means LeBron James wants everyone to win. He makes the right pass. He plays the right way. He wants everybody game to elevate.
Correct.
Even if he does not make the last shot, he's gonna make the right basketball play.
Right.
But the true matters of America heart is not LeBron, even though on paper it says LeBron. It's Mike.
Mike.
That's the true race, because guess what? It does not matter. The reason people love Mike, we win.
Right.
At all costs. That's the mindset of the Republicans. We win at all costs. This is why they destroyed the Black Panther Party, because they had the mindset of our community first. It doesn't matter. We gonna win.
Right.
And until Black folks pick up that mantle,
right,
to say we as Black people gonna win
at together, right,
at all costs, we gonna continue to get put at the back of the bus. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that, man.
The union is ran by women, so they pander to them.
Simple as that.
As they say, there's some truth to that. You're 100% right, man. We got to get on code. We on code with everything else.
Everything else, bro.
No sniffing. We on code with that. We on code with everything else. You know,
everything else.
Everything. I can go down the line, man. But it seems like when it comes to substantial stuff and when it's time to really come together for real.
For real, bro. It's just like I said, the streets. The streets really ain't for real. Because if the street was for real, George Zimmerman wouldn't have disrespected Trayvon family like that and still live to see it.
Right. Right.
When we gonna be for real?
Zay said that's a good question. What's the common denominator that most Republicans have? I would say their mindset. That's I mean, you know something different, Zay, please put it in the chat. Their mindset, like bro said, they win. They want to win. They don't care. They don't care about your past.
They don't care nothing. They don't care nothing about that. They don't care about racism. They don't care about that.
Herschel Walker thing.
Look at that. He's still finna win.
He's still.
Think about that. Out of all that, you thought about that. They do their family. They care about family and community.
Family community, yeah.
That's they do. But look, Herschel Walker and Warnock. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm voting for Warnock. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But at the same time, I'm showing you the game. Look what the Republicans doing with Herschel. Think about it, bro.
Yeah, bro.
This man has came out and his life is everything against the Republican Party. He ain't got abortions.
Yeah.
He didn't win against his family. He got outside kids and all that. It goes against, like Zay just says about family community. It goes against the community and their family. What Herschel Walker is, but guess what? Because he's a Republican, guess what? He's in the game. And they're gonna go vote for him because they want to win.
Yeah. It's about the results.
It's about results. It ain't about your heart. So we got to stop voting off our heart and vote for results.
That's right. And Jay, you're right, Jay. It's about big business.
That's right.
It's about big business.
About big business.
We about the little stuff.
That's right. Come on, man.
They say when men are in control of their families and communities, then they can dictate the narrative.
That's true. They can.
Now, that's true. That is true, man.
They can.
I agree with that. I really do. That's the problem. That's the problem. We got a hot topic, man. We can stay on this all day. We got a hot topic. Since you're saying when men are control their families, now I know everybody has seen this. We got about 12 minutes. We'll keep it going if y'all still in here. Everybody's seen this with the 50 Cent. 50 Cent and his son. His son name is Marquise. I take this 50 Cent son. Marquise says 50 paid $6,700 a month in child support, which he says is not enough. We can go different dynamics with this. That goes back to kind of what Zay touched on, what I believe when the men are the leaders in their community, and I'll give a little bit backstory when 50 allegedly, when 50 was together with Marquise' mom, he was giving him $25,000 a month. Then when they broke up, she threatened to put him on child support. So he kind of went ahead of her and did it. And this is what the judge ordered, $6,700 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, 50 also wanted to help Marquise with a shoe business. But Marquise, he dragged his feet on it or whatever. But that's not really what cases. The alarming thing with me is with the generation, is it a sense of entitlement? And then people have mixed feelings about it. I've seen some people say, well, 50 should be with his relationship with his son, but his son's a grown man now.
His son needs to man up and go talk to his daddy.
Right. Right.
I think a lot of the resentment comes from you never know for all the years what the mother has put in the son's head about his father.
Right. And I was going to say that.
And of course, I feel like sometimes as entertainers, you don't have the time. And the mother, see, that's why it's important, the women that you have in your life, because the women tend to, the type of woman that you choose to help raise your kids tends to take on the mindset of the man when it comes to discipline and structure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that's what's going on, is that she done said some things about the daddy and the son has resentment. And then on top of the entitlement.
Right.
Of being 50 Cent's son. You know what I'm saying?
On top of, and I saw the video when he was talking to the dude was somebody's cameraman. I can't remember who it was. His name was Shook. And he was like, but $600-700 ain't nothing. And then he was like, but my dad, he's on the Forbes list and all of that. And I'm saying, and the dude asked him, well, okay, well, your dad give you $600-700. So what the mom, her $600-700 on top of that, then you looking good, because $600-700 a month is $80,000 a year, bro.
That's some people's salary.
$80K a year, just
not doing nothing.
Not doing nothing.
His job at. First of all, forget what the mama doing. What you doing?
You got to be
grown. Forget the mama. I understand that what you're saying, but forget the mama. Man up.
Right.
You 18, man up. Go get a job. And put on top of that, you could be making 10 grand. $8 grand a month, 9 grand a month.
Right.
Just with a good job.
Right. And the thing, and it's crazy, Charlene said to not work. And Jay said completely agree. What I was alarmed by was he's 20. Is he 25 now? Something like that.
I forget what mama got. Mama ain't got nothing to do with it now. Man,
you know what I'm saying? Then they said allegedly 50 Cent had something to do with their house burning down because 50 Cent was paying all the bills. When they first broke up, 50 was paying all the bills and giving child support and paying all the bills in the house that they were staying in. But then Mom Deuce brought another guy in, 50 wasn't having it or something like that. So, but in the final analysis, I just think it's entitlement. And it's crazy because we was talking to my daughter when we was after the cruise. I was just like, the generation, man, is coming. Okay, Anastasia said he's 24. The generation, it seemed like the entitlement increases as the generation goes on. And my wife's mother was saying, well, when my wife was working, she had a job at 14, 15. She was working at Taco Bell. She went over her cell phone. She made her give her check till she paid it off. And I was like, I was working at Bullock's and something similar happened to me. But now kids are different. It's like they feel like they entitled to your money. I never had that sense of entitlement with mom and dad. Never. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I saw a commercial on Instagram long ago, and I might get it wrong. I can't say every word he said, but a man said this. He said, "Man, my grandfather walked.
I seen that.
My dad drove a Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
I drive a Porsche. My son drives a Bentley.
Mm-hmm.
My grandson but my grandson will walk again
Right.
because hard times make strong men.
yeah, right.
Strong men make easy times.
Mhm.
Easy times make weak men.
Facts. Facts.
And so that's what it is, bro.
Right.
You know, 50 came from the gutter.
Right.
He made it easy for his son.
Mhm.
But his son does not have the same mindset as his father and go get it from the gutter because 50 has someone like kind of created a weak man because 50 made it easy.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So and
Right.
see when we have kids and we're co-parenting, the mother and the father has to have some type of relationship to make sure that you build a strong structure in this person's character. Because
Facts.
if you had that type of money, you look at a lot of kids like T.I. son, one of his sons, you got 50. We're seeing that because the parenting is not building some type of structure that will hold the child accountable to really work on his character, bro.
Right.
Your character really got to be intact, not to be that weak man because of easy time.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Facts. They said I could take $600-700 a month to survive anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Who is raising this generation? I agree. And the stage said entitlement is the biggest issue at hand. This generation will look into your income and decipher what should be their portion.
Mm-hmm.
Even their friends will help bring this to surface to via instigating.
Yeah,
so
these parents stop sharing they financial status to their children. I don't care how old they are. You put things in place. You put things in place. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that was needs to happen. Stop allowing your kids to know your income. But guess what? If I'm a millionaire, whatever business I have, my child gonna work in it.
Right.
You gonna work in it, bro. And I'm not talking about you ain't gonna sit in no desk. No, you gonna answer the phones. You gonna go do the hard work because we building character. We gonna really work on your character because you ain't got nothing to take you out the gutter.
Right. And I think they don't know the value of money because when he was talking, I'm like, bro, $600-700, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, don't count your dad pockets. Just feel blessed that he was able to provide, because if he would have had you in the state that he was in, you would be praying for $600-700 a month.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's the entitlement, and they don't know the value, man.
That's why I respect Master P son Romeo, man. You know what I'm saying? You could tell Master P really, and you know, when Master P had Romeo, he wasn't there yet. Let's say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that has something to do with his son saw a little bit of the struggle, but at the same time, for most of his life, he's seen his dad be well off. But he took that mindset from his dad to say, look, I'm not entitled to this. Let me build my own empire from my dad's empire.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Facts. Jay said, but let's be honest, we give our children TBT things we weren't able to get. So we give our children things we weren't able to get, but lack on the accountability. To a certain extent, I'd agree with that. That's why, me personally, I use tools to kind of show my kids accountability. Allowance is a great tool that I use.
You're gonna pay for your own meals with your allowance.
Facts.
I might go back and put it back, but I'm gonna at least show you, look, you're gonna put out. In this world, you're gonna, whatever you bring in, you got to put some of it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
My two oldest daughters want to work. I think they want to work for Chick-fil-A or something like that. And I'm at first I'm like, nah, you're gonna work for our business. But then I'm like, you know what? I want them to get a little bit of that so they can understand, okay, when you work and you see Social Security tax coming out, you see federal, you see state, you see all that come out, and you're gonna lose your mind.
Mhm.
So I want you to get a little bit of that to understand, so you can understand the value of money and the value of labor. Because I think sometimes kids don't understand it because they don't have a big toe at all into what their parents do.
Mhm.
And it's getting easier as the generation go on, because think about it, when we was growing up, there was a few jobs we can work at. Now they can get on Instagram and YouTube and make all types of money and you know what I'm saying? So it's not the same, but we have to use tools to instill those values. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I use them tools, man.
I go to the drawing board together to try to bring a balance in their life. And
Correct.
start using those tools to hold them accountable.
Right.
And let them see what real life is about.
Exactly.
Fantasy land and money don't grow on trees.
Right.
I always say that. Mama, dad always say that. Money don't grow on trees, boy. You never understood that. Man, you go work hard and see what happened.
Yeah.
I've had some jobs, boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some hard labor jobs.
You work hard just to be broke. They don't understand
Hey,
that.
man, but I ain't broke, because get what?
Been there.
Still paid.
Right. Exactly.
So now I'm valuing the dollar more. And you gotta say, okay, how can I take this and put it in my child's little world to hold them accountable? Instead of just giving.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Because Jay right, he right though, because that's our job. Our job is to elevate what our past generation did. So we are always supposed to be better than our father. But I think sometimes when we go wrong, we lose those values, what made our past generations solid.
That's right.
So we try to do better monetarily, but then those core values that really made our dads and granddads and grandmamas and mamas, those hard times built their character. So what we try to do is compensate just on the money side and not try to build that character. So we got to use tools to build that character too.
Yeah, and one of the tools that they used, man, was 2-parent homes.
Facts, man.
They understand. Man, I heard a saying, like you in one of your songs, you said, "Are you spoken for?" Women wanted to be married. Men wanted to marry the women. Men wanted to protect that lady. Women wanted to please that man. Want to submit to that man. They enjoyed serving that man. Putting his plate on the table, cooking for and cleaning. There's a lot of women saying they ain't gonna do all that today. Men were more protectors. Until today, I've never heard men really say they don't care about a black woman or care about women. You know, don't want to protect women. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be their natural protector. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an instance. I went in American Deli yesterday, and I ain't trying to be. These Asians at American Deli downtown was talking to this black woman crazy, and I checked them on it. And I said, I'll be back up in here picking if I need to. I said, y'all come in our communities, take all our money, suck all the blood out of our communities, but your kids won't go to school with our kids. You don't eat around us, you don't do nothing with us, but you come here and you got the audacity to talk to us any kind of way. No, sir. No. Check yourself. I said, you better check your cashier. I told the owner that, check her. We have to be, as men, see, that's what men supposed to do. That's our masculinity. She shouldn't have to do that. She should have to fall back and let this man check them. You get what I'm saying? So that's just real talk, man. We just got to do better as a people. But those are one of the things, the tools that they use. First, marriage was important because now 2 heads is better than 1.
And you know, before I say, because Zay said liberal thinking creates liberal parenting. Facts, Zay.
Yeah. Let them do what they want to do. Let them believe what they want to believe. No. You're going to believe what I believe while you in my house.
In my house. I agree I agree the values get lost in translation. That's facts. What I will say, because I don't know if she on here or not, but I ain't going to say her name. I had a conversation with one of my friends last night. Through IG, because I post stuff about women and things like that.
They mad at you, bro.
They mad at me, But this conversation, it went good at the end. So we went back and forth, and then she asked me, she said, "This is not an attack, but does your wife listen?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean listen? Like, do she respect you? Do she submit to you? This, that, and the third?" And I said, and I broke it down, and I said, I think this is where we get lost sometimes. No man wants just complete submission.
No.
That's weak. We don't want that. Was it Coming to America when the lady was hopping on one foot and whatever you like? We don't want that. We don't want that. And I told her,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
go ahead.
I told her, my wife, she talk mess just like the boys.
Mm-hmm.
You got a slick mouth. I said, but when it comes time to her following my lead and trusting my decision, and I said all of my decision hasn't been the best or hasn't hit, but I said, but one thing that she knows is our life has been elevating frequently, so that builds the trust. I said, I think where it gets lost when men talk about submission, women think we want them to come in and be like the Coming to America lady.
But MJ, some men do.
No, facts.
And see those, and let me tell you something. That
Go
man
ahead,
right there, he has insecurity. He's a true insecure man.
That's right.
If you want a woman, if you ask a woman to jump and she say how high,
Mm-hmm.
and you just want a woman, you want a slave. No, women are not meant to be slaves. First of all, they're not. You got to lead.
Right.
And a man that's a leader, I'm not saying, I'm not gonna sit on here and say that women that it ain't no men out there
It is
act like that, and it is.
It is.
And them men, no,
But what I was telling her, that's not majority.
That's not
majority of men.
But what a lot of women would do, they'll say that's the majority. That's what they hear, and that's what they see in their mind when we say that. But that's not what we're looking for.
Nah, man. No, a majority of men do not like complete, like that's weakness to us. And just to be honest, we want to be challenged. We just don't want to be nagged.
That's right.
Men, our journey, we get challenged throughout life.
But we let's be honest, man. We're at our best when we are challenged. I look at different. Let me break it down in dog terms. If you look at the best dogs, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, Pressers, those dogs in those families, they are at their best when you are teaching them and challenging them. Correct. Men wants to be challenged, but like my brother said, they don't want to be mad. It's a difference.
That's what it is.
It's a difference.
We challenge throughout life. We don't run away from challenges.
We got you because it was a challenge.
Right. They be thinking we don't want to be challenged. No, that's not us. We had it was a challenge, man, to get you to keep talking to females, and we've been rejected. To keep going for the better jobs, even though we're not getting called back to come to job interviews and people not accepting the application.
We grow. To
keep growing, to go work out, and we don't see the results to month 4, but to trust the process. Like me, we do that. Our life has been challenged, so we don't run away from challenges. It's just how you challenge is nagging. They said you can't live literally with no structure, with no rules, with no discipline, and expect those same people to instill discipline and structure in children.
I agree.
100% correct.
I agree.
100%
correct. That's what's wrong with our community today. It's no structure. You can't tell these bad kids nothing.
Yeah.
You can't say nothing to nobody. And it's a shame. It's a shame that we can't go back. We'll say and this was funny. We grew up in the church, and we're in the church. And it'll be hundreds of people being a part of the Christian of a child. When a child is born, when they Christian a child. And you got all these aunties, uncles, godfathers, godmothers, everybody there.
Right.
Believing in the one of the things we as ministers say, it takes a village, and everybody say, raise your hand to help raise this child. Everybody raise their hand.
They up there.
And the same people today that'll tell you don't say nothing to my child. Man, you got to be kidding me, MJ. You got to be kidding me. We are a people who like to be seen, but behind closed doors, we don't want to bring no structure. We don't want to implement no structure. Let a child believe what he want to believe. Let a child grow into themselves. No. The word says, train a child the way they should go and they'll never depart from it. And I don't care if you don't believe in the word. I guarantee a lot of millionaires, atheist people with money, without money, but guess what? A lot of people believe in structure. You ask any entrepreneur, anybody who has a successful business, why their business is successful is because of the structure and the discipline and the consistency that they put in. That's why that business is successful today.
Correct.
Simple as that.
Correct.
So why you can't do it with your child?
You can't be successful in anything without structure and consistency, bro. You cannot.
Nothing.
You cannot be successful in anything.
And because we don't implement this discipline and we're not consistent with it, that's why we're failing as parents. That's why the streets more of the streets get our kids than anybody else. You got kids that grew up in our neighborhood in Conley, Ellenwood, Georgia. Mama and them got nice houses, beautiful homes, drove nice cars, had nice jobs. But guess what? They say they street. They from the streets. They from the gutter.
I know I separate reality from entertainment, man.
I mean, when they say that, I want to say, let me drop you in a place called East Selma, Alabama.
Let me drop you.
I guarantee.
Let me drop you right there.
You would not say that you from the gutter because I can take you to the gutter.
Right there.
I can take you to the gutter. But now you listening to it, I can't believe it. Remember those movies we used to watch? Man, The Rock was on one with John Travolta, and Andre 3000, and who else is on there? Cedric Entertainer. You remember you had these rappers who act like they were so hard. Right. I never thought that this would be our community today. Man, we used to laugh so hard at that movie. But now this is truly reality.
It's reality, dog.
It's reality, man, in our community. And guess what? The mothers and the fathers are just saying, go ahead.
Right.
Be cool. There you go, Tris. Be cool. That's the movie.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Right.
I can't believe we live in a world of be cool. That movie is reality today,
reality,
man.
Bro.
Reality.
And the state say we don't want the village to raise the children no more. She's right about that. You're right. It's reality, bro. It's reality, man. That's crazy.
And it's a shame. It's real, and we keep voting these people in that does not have our best interests at heart. Right. I'm telling you now, politicians, if you white or black, I don't care what color, ethnic group you are, but if you're willing to do something specifically for black people, for the education of the only people in this land that are imports and goods, I'm not a racist, and I don't think black people can be racist. I think we could be prejudiced, but I think we could be prejudiced for a reason. I think black people have the right to be prejudiced in America.
We really do.
But I'm telling you, if you truly understand what black people have gone through in America and is going through behind closed doors with the banking system, with the housing system, with everything, man. And really say, I get it, and I am for black people. I understand we got to do stuff for American people too. But right now we need to concentrate on the black people because black people are always getting the short hand of the stick, but they have gone through so much in this land. You got my vote. You got my vote. I'm tired of hearing about for the American people. Because if you can say the Asian American, you can say black Americans.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yep.
I'm tired of it.
That's facts, man.
Tired of it.
That's facts.
And we're going to continue to speak about it. Our grandfather, when he was marching, I don't care what those cats, John Lewis and them, when they finally got federal in their seats, they forgot about what the movement was about. The movement was about getting black people the right to vote, and like my grandfather said, to put people in place that had the best interest for black people to help us move forward. But they took the movement and they made it nationally, and they took the identity away from it.
That's facts, bro.
And that's just the truth.
Trish said, I ain't gonna cut. Trish said, or people of color. F that. Yeah, if you're right. Don't say people of color.
Black Americans.
That's
for
right.
The descendants of slaves, the people that y'all say, the story y'all tell now.
Right.
With Africa. And got these black folks the world trade. I mean, on the slave trade. And we are enslaved for 244 years. Then after that, y'all created fictitious of a man called Jim Crow.
Exactly.
Then after that, then y'all didn't pay us right. Then you created some called affirmative action that the white woman benefited from it better than anybody. Then you created some called mass incarceration, but you took the slave from the slave trade, the man who was catching slaves, you just turned him into the sheriff, and then you start creating laws and with cracking cocaine, and you start putting more black folks in jail, and you giving white people misdemeanors, but black people got felons. Then the Democrats came around with Bill Clinton did the 3 strikes you out. So I can go down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So both parties have been destructive to black people.
Right.
So what y'all gonna do to get it right? And what y'all gonna do to get my vote? So it's simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Right. I know we out of time, bro, but
yeah, we
need to pick it up because it's voting season, and we ain't being silent just because it's voting season. Oh, they don't need to talk about Democrats, man. Black folks need to come together, get on code. It won't hurt us to miss an election. I know some people looking at me, Alan, how dare you say that? It ain't hurt us. Look, we've been voting for how long? Our forefathers got the vote. They did their part. Now, in this day, it's time for us to look at the vote and says, how can we use our vote corporately, together, not individually? My grandfather, you say these words, he said, it's something between what is best and what is right. See, we got to stop thinking about what is best for one person singular, but what is right for all black people.
Facts.
What is right for all black people is for us to come together we got all these gospel conventions, and we got all these sororities and fraternities in schools.
Beyond that,
we can get together and give out the information and say what is most important for black people. We have the systems within our churches and with our universities and with our corporate organizations to get the information out, and social media to say what's the top 10 things black people want. We put that information together, and then we find out who's running for Congress, House of Representatives, President, whoever, and whoever say they with that's who we voting for.
That's right. As I said, we run away from tradition. We shun how our grandparents lived, but it worked. It produced successful families. It produced successful children. It produced successful families. That's right. We embrace these modern idealism and concepts, but they are not working. Fact. And Tristan said voting is a business transaction.
And Tristan is right on that, because if you look, see, let me tell y'all something. Now, even though I feel like now the Republicans don't care if Trump falls, but think about the business decision that happened up under Trump. Look at the Supreme Court.
Right.
He did his job. Look at all the federal judges that Barack Obama left because he thought Hillary was going to win. Listen, bro. He thought Hillary was going to win. He left all them federal judges' seat open to allow Hillary to fill them. She lost. And Trump got in there and filled all those federal judges and did all those Supreme Court.
Yep.
So there was a business decision to keep the identity of what their narrative of how they feel like America should run intact.
That's right.
Y'all just think the president ain't got as much power as you think.
Right.
This is not a dictatorship.
Tristan said bullseye. And said we were supposed to build on how our grandparents were not completely changed. I guess she said, but not completely change it. This is how we now have a completely different perspective and generation. Traditional is no longer tradition. Agree. We got to get back on it, man.
We got to get back on it, bro.
We got to corporate.
We got to get back on it. We got a lot to think about. We got a lot to talk about. Don't run from the conversation with your family members. You know, and I truly, and people disagree with me when I say this, I feel like that the civil rights movement for black people aligned themselves with the Democrats because that is the party that gave them the right to vote. No, man, this conversation is always renewable.
Right.
It is always
you gotta renew this contract.
And if your like a record deal, like Ray Charles did, if it don't sound right, I got to move on.
Right.
If it's not for black people as a whole, we got to move on. It's time to have a different conversation. Do we need to vote independently? I keep telling us we need our own lobbyist party. I keep saying that.
Yeah,
The
put our money over
LGBTQ
there.
did it. Look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Look. Stop thinking about self. So that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, I know we gotta go. They still in here though. I love this conversation, man.
It's a great conversation, but it's a conversation that people want to have now, bro.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we need to redirect our vote to independent or don't vote.
Yeah.
And they know we mean business.
Yeah.
Al Sharpton need to go on. I told he need to retire. I feel like he needs to retire. For him to say that about black men is a shame. Instead of saying, let me have a conversation with the men and see what their need is.
Right.
If you feel like he's not getting black men to come to the voting polls for her, well, Stacey, we need to listen what the black men want instead of saying that they insecure with themselves. What?
Yeah.
Come
on.
on.
We insecure because we don't vote for Stacey Abrams.
Come on, man. No. I got the right to say, man, I want these are these are the things that I feel like that should be done in my community. And if that person don't have that identity, I have the right not to vote for that. The only thing that Stacey, because I was even on the fence of voting Kemp or Stacey. Mm-hmm. I be messing with my mom and dad. I'm going to vote Kemp. You know what I'm saying? But she made a good point, and I didn't know about, and this hurt black folks in the city. Now, and I said this while he was living, so I don't care if y'all have something to say to me, because I said this. John Lewis, over his leadership, allowed his part of Atlanta to get gentrified. Mm-hmm. But sometimes our mindset of not thinking about our own plays into white supremacy. Now, why would I say that? Look at Atlanta Medical right now. Atlanta Medical has closed down. Most of those people who worked in Atlanta Medical was black and brown people.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, what Kemp is doing, he has held the $6 billion that Wellstar could have tapped into to get that hospital open, to keep it open. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you what happened. See, I can't have I'm trying to gentrify Boulevard with these $800,000 loss I got over here to $1 million. Right. I can't have the mentally ill black people out here on the side of the road.
Exactly.
I agree with Stacey on that. See, sometimes you got to pay attention to things. Yeah, you can look at Kemp and say, well, Georgia economy ain't really hurting. The inflation is high everywhere. Georgia through the pandemic did pretty good. The reason inflation is out because the stimulus packages they was giving out, the money they was printing. And then, the war, and I keep telling people this, the war was by design. Putin was not going into Ukraine while Trump was president. That's just what it was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when John Lewis and them in this era was thinking about, let's just come together and kumbaya, they got you. Now you see their bigger hand. John Lewis rolling in his grave right now, that Atlanta Medical closed down in his district. Guarantee it. But because you weren't thinking about black people in that community and trying to get help for the mental ill and this and that, now that it took over and closed down Atlanta Medical, they're gonna move that hospital, or that's not gonna be a trauma hospital anymore, because they're not gonna be a hospital to worry about the mental ill and the poor.
Right.
Same thing the Atlanta Braves did, bro. The Atlanta Braves came and said this.
We tired of living.
Huh?
Brave. We tired of being here, Waldy.
They came in the middle of Cassine Reed and them making a deal with out the blank with the Atlanta Falcons. When that deal was about done, the Atlanta Braves came and said, we want a new stadium. They knew they didn't want a new stadium downtown. Guess what? They did it to make it seem like they want to stay in Atlanta, but no, we want to move because we're tired of all these folks, all our people coming from Nashville, Tennessee, North Carolina, because they said it's Braves country, which it truly is. Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, come to Atlanta, and you got all these mental ill black people asking for money and stuff. We're tired of it. Yep. See, black people got to realize when they getting suckered.
Right.
That's why we said you got to go in there with the mindset what you're doing for black people and not what you're doing for everyone, because you'll get blinded and you don't know you getting bamboozled.
Right.
John Lewis got bamboozled.
Right.
Now Atlanta Medical gone. Come on, bro. Stacey was right about that.
Yeah.
He was right about that $6 billion that Kemp won't unlock for Atlanta Medical to be open. It's a crime shame.
Right. Because
all the folks lost their job. I know I got family members who lost their job because of that.
Right.
Come on, bro.
You know
That
what
was
time?
out there in Trump County, going to Macon or going to South Georgia, that wouldn't happen. Let me going
Right.
toward Dawson, that wouldn't happen. They
He
would
would
have
release
that
them
money
funds.
out there
That's right.
for the
That's
trailer
right.
parks and all their community. Man, don't get me started. Hey man, it's true, bro. Now,
Hey,
I
man.
want somebody to call me a lie on that.
They ain't gonna do that. Hey, we appreciate y'all being with us. It's a lot still on here, man. We appreciate y'all being with us. We missed last week. We missed y'all. So we had to come back this week. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but I said, bro, we still got to do it.
I got to tell you what happened. I got to tell the lineage what happened to me leaving the cruise, bro. I ain't tell you.
What?
These medicine call us a nigglets. Yeah, we're finna go down in the elevator. Because what happened, bro, we was leaving, they called our area, right? So we the only one in the hallway at the elevator. So we hit the elevator, and so we waiting. So then it started getting crowded. Then here they come, the elevator open, here they come from the hallway, from their room, and just get on the elevator, see all of us standing there. So I can't be quiet sometimes. I said, man, y'all could have been patient, been patient. You saw these folks around here standing around, you should have waited your turn. Kim was looking at me like, oh Lord, here he go.
Yeah,
So you know what I did? I said, now forget this. We all gonna pile in here like some sardines. That's exactly what we did. We piled in there like some sardines. So he was talking in English at first. Then he said something in Spanish to his child. And he said, nigga. I said, what? We said, what you say? You know what I'm saying? Then Kim was like, it sounded like you just called us some in Spanish. Right. And one lady, she was the president of NAACP. She said, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nigglets in here that you're going to have to deal with. He, man, and the elevator door open, he hurried up and his family got out the elevator. What even they level, man? They got on. You see what I'm saying? See, people will show the matters of their heart. What I'm saying, it's a lot of people in the Democratic Party. One thing about the Republicans, they racist, they gonna be racist in your face. And I kind of like my racism in my face. But a lot of Democrats are racist. They'll smile in your face and then do everything they can to keep you down. But then smile, come to your church and say, I love you, and I have your best heart. But then when it's time to pass them laws, they know where to be found.
Nowhere to be found, dog. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found.
That's the truth.
That's real, man. Listen, while we got everybody on here, next week we got Gina DuVernay.
Yeah.
That is Ava DuVernay's sister. Ava DuVernay is the woman, one of the women that was behind, with Selma in the 13th
documentary,
documentary thing. So we're gonna have on there. We're gonna talk about things. We want to do business with her, but it didn't work out. But still, we want to have on here. She good people. The following week after that, we have none other than Miss Kathy Walters. She's the one that co-wrote the autobiography, Selma Self-Sacrifice.
You see it where he's holding on this side right there.
Yeah, you see it.
There you go. Let me move out the way. Boom.
Right. If you got the book, our hands on the way, but her name is on the bottom. And we gonna just to be honest, man, I'm gonna just let her we're gonna ask her questions, of course, about her, because she's an author, great writer, but we're gonna ask what inspired her to write the book and everything, man. So we're gonna get an in-depth conversation with the co-author of Selma Self-Sacrifice. So y'all don't want to miss it, and they are Black women. We like to pay homage. I always say Black women are our greatest God's greatest creation. It's none other. So keep that on your calendar. Next week, we will have Miss Gina DuVernay, and the following week we will have Miss Kathy Walters as our special guest on the Lineage Podcast. Hopefully, I'll be better by next week. But we appreciate y'all joining us, man. Every week I was in here today.
I'm gonna turn up for my birthday this week.
Yeah, bro, birthday. When your birthday? Monday or Tuesday?
Monday, the 17th, Monday.
Birthday Monday, yeah. And then our other friend Oren, his birthday Wednesday.
19th. Yeah,
19th. Then Tris, he on here, his birthday in November. I ain't gonna say how old he gonna be. He probably don't care. Tris will be 40. Yes, sir. He'll be 40. I'm right behind him. So this is a great month. And we appreciate y'all joining us. Let's talk about it. We talk about everything from the rooter to the tutor on the Lineage Podcast. Nothing is off limits.
Nothing.
We showed y'all that. So until next week, man, thank y'all for joining us on the Lineage Podcast. FD, we still passing that we still running with that baton, man. We ain't gonna let it down.
That's
so
right.
Until next week, we'll see y'all next week.